So I've got lots of little places. Where's everything going to go? And it's overwhelming if you just walk down your garden with a bag full of packs of seeds and try to figure out where everything should go. Because there's a lot of things you need to, consider.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Maritime Gardening Podcast. This is number 32, and today I am connected up again with our gardening expert. I don't know how else to say it, Greg, that's you.
Well, thank you, that's high praise. Still learning.
Of course.
Always learning. I'll be learning until I'm unable to learn any longer. Yeah.
What are you going to help us learn about today?
I'm going to talk about the benefits of having a garden plan and how I go about doing that.
Cool.
And a couple little just updatey sorts of things that we can work through really quick at the beginning here.
Sounds good.
So I just wanted to do a little update for those of you that watched the cold frame video where I was preparing the soil there. I've planted some things in there. I planted spinach, kale, lettuce, and Brussels sprouts. And I planted those probably close to almost a month ago. And they all came up, I think, 2 weeks ago, but they've been growing very slowly, but they are doing fine. Any day, like a day like today where it was 10 outside and sunny, it was 30 in there. And one thing I didn't mention in the video on those is that, because if you do a lot of reading or you're watching YouTube videos on cold frames, you're supposed to have some means of ventilation.
Okay.
And my system of ventilation is shoddy workmanship.
So there's lots of it.
There's cracks and things. Yeah. It's not tight in there. So it's just easier. The workmanship takes care of that problem. I'm sure I could, put little vent holes and this, that, and the other thing, but there's, none of the corners are perfect, and, it's not done to... it's not German engineered or anything like that. It's got many flaws, but that's fine. It makes it way faster to build, and your ventilation problem is solved. Yeah. So there's something to be said for simplicity. Anyway, all those things are up, especially the kale, and those are kale seeds I saved from the previous year. They're doing really, really well. The kale and the spinach are really coming along. Cool. I have a video coming up next week, hoping around Wednesday, which will be on how to construct wire remesh low tunnels. Last year, I think I had some pictures on hoop houses, and this year I've changed my design a little bit, something a little simpler, easier to throw together, uses less materials, and is very effective. I think I'll be able to plant like my tomatoes right in the beds they're going on. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about it there. Right. Watch the video. If you want to be able to build a 4x8 low tunnel, that's about 15 inches high at the peak, which is fine for getting things started. For about $20, watch that video. And what else? So we had the unboxing video the other day. So if you haven't seen that yet, that's all the stuff we got from Mackenzie Seeds. They provided all my seeds for my garden, but also a ridiculous amount of other stuff for us to give away to our listeners. And what do we have? What do the listeners have to do? That draw. Are we doing some sort of draw or something?
We're doing a draw, and we're doing a few different things. But the main thing is, if you want to qualify at all to win any of that loot or any of the other things that we decide that we may be able to give away this season or next, make sure you're on our email newsletter, and it's really simple. Just go to maritimegardening.com, and on the right-hand side, there's a little subscribe box. Just put your email in there and confirm that up with a series of emails. And once you're on our email list, that is how we will be reaching out and rewarding our listeners. So that's it.
Great. All right. So let's get started with the garden plan episode. So, as you can see in the video anyway, I've got lots of seeds. Not only, I think Mackenzie probably sent me maybe 20 or 25 packs of seeds. I can't remember exactly how many.
Yeah.
And I probably have a dozen or more other seeds that I've saved from my garden, or just other things that I have from previous years.
Yeah.
So I have a ridiculous number of seeds, and it's kind of overwhelming to just go out to your garden, especially if you have a large garden like me. I mean, I've got a 2,500 square foot area.
Yeah, it's a
lot of beds. And I've got a lot of 4x8 beds. And other funny shaped beds, border, and I just put things where they seem to belong or want to go. Or if I've got a little spot that's not doing anything, I tend to put something in there. So I've got lots of little places. Where's everything going to go? And it's overwhelming if you just walk down your garden with a bag full of packs of seeds and try to figure out where everything should go. Because there's a lot of things you need to consider. Right, you got to think where did things go last year? You don't want to keep planting the same thing in the same place every year. That can cause problems, and also want to think about your succession planting. If something's going to grow, and like a spinach, for instance, spinach grows very quickly, and it's kind of done by July.
Right. So
you want to plant that in a bed where something else is going to be coming on in August. When the spinach is sort of done. So you got to think about things like you might be able to get 2 yields out of one bed instead of just growing one thing in it and just leaving this place, leaving the space alone for the rest of the year.
Right.
Also, you got to think about where the sun comes up, where south is, and what plants are going to be tall and what plants are going to be short. You don't want anything blocking the light for other things. And did you have any beds that perform poorly? Maybe you think the soil is poor? Maybe you want to plant something that's a soil builder this year instead of, messing around with, different manures or fertilizers or whatever. Sometimes it's easier just to plant some peas or beans that don't require great soil anyway. Right. And all that sort of stuff, right? You got to think of all that. It can be overwhelming. If you've got more than a couple beds, it can be overwhelming to sit down and try to figure out where should everything go. So I find it very helpful to use the approach that I've developed over the years. And you can buy software online for this. I think there's something called Garden Planner, or I can't remember what it's called now, but it's you can get a free. What is it called? Grow Veg, www.growveg.com. We're not getting any money from them.
I was going to say, are they paying us?
They're not paying us anything. I think they've got a free trial version, but I think you have to buy it if you want to keep using it. But they shouldn't be paying us because I don't use it. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it depends on how you're wired, right? I tend to. I'm wired as a very frugal person. So I like using what I've got, and I've found I haven't always done this. I mean, I've only started planning out my garden really in the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So all I do is, and I'm able to do it where I am because I have got a hill near my garden, so I can get up high and take a picture almost of the whole thing.
Yes.
It's not from directly overhead. I mean, it'd be handy if you had some sort of drone something like that.
The garden drone.
Even if you don't, maybe you can get up on a step ladder or climb up on your roof or something like that.
Be careful. Be careful.
Please don't sue me.
Greg said to get on my roof.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just jump really high.
Yeah.
Maybe some balloons.
I know. Tape your smartphone to a broomstick.
That's a great idea.
Actually, that's a Greg Otten idea.
That is low tech, or one of those
frugal
those extension poles for painting. Yeah. No, that's just stick it on the movie setting, or if you got some sort of thing where it takes a photo every 5 seconds or something like that.
Throw it up in the air.
That is that's actually, Dave. That's the best. That's the simplest idea. Get a long stick. And put your camera, your smartphone, or whatever on there, and set it up to just take a picture every 5 seconds and just hold it up as high as you can.
That might work.
So once you get that picture, and you take this picture at the end of the gardening season. I mean, if you haven't, do it this fall, but if you haven't, just take a picture of what you got. But what I do is I take a picture at the end of the gardening season and I pop it into Microsoft Excel. It's just, you could probably use Word in the same way. I like Excel better. Yeah. And then you just use the text boxes to label each bed. I mean, you do it at the end of the season, so because that's when you can remember where everything was and what you had growing there. Yeah. And then you just forget about it. And then the next year, you have your plan. So for every year, I'll have, like, if I look here, it says 2015 garden, and then it says 2016 plan. Mm-hmm. And then I have another tab called 2016 garden. So I got my 2016 plan. And that's what I planned to do in the spring in 2016. Yeah. And then I took a picture in like October or September in 2016, which was 2016 garden. So there's what I planned to do and what I actually did. Like there's one of my beds here where it says peas and beans in the plan. And then if I look at the garden, I planted potatoes there. Yeah. So I changed my mind. Sometimes you just, you get out there and you say, no, that doesn't make any sense. But at least the plan gets you started. Right. And really think it through strategically, and you can take advantage of things that can be companion planted and think that through. Right. Like I want to plant tomatoes in a particular place, and because, parsley and basil work well with tomatoes, I can plant those all in the same bed. Right. And my tomatoes, I'm going to straight seed them under my little low rows this year, probably the next week or maybe a week after that. Yeah. I'm just going to plant them right in the ground, and I am 100% confident they will germinate right in the ground where they're going to grow, because those little hoop houses really seem to hold the heat in. This particular design I've got, I'm really happy with it. Nice. Really cheap. I can slap one together in about 15 minutes. And it's such an advantage to not have to grow all those things in my house. Right? I can't stand frigging around with transplants. Yeah. So this is so much better. That way I can buy the seeds, I can get the varieties I want, and stick them in the ground and water them. The other thing with that dome structure, you don't lose your water. Like you water the ground, but the water evaporates, hits the dome and rains back down on the plant. Yeah. So it's like a little biodome, right? Right. So exactly. So it's kind of neat. Anyway, so that's the idea. You plan that all out, and it really, really does help, because it's like, once your garden gets large like this, it's like a puzzle, and it's really hard to make your first move. Yeah. Where should this go? Where should that go? For me, the first things I plant every year, and mine are already in the ground, is my carrots and parsnips and peas. Nice. So I have to figure out where they're going to go, because once I put them there, I can't undo that, right? Yeah. So now I can start solving the puzzle, right? So that those spaces are filled. Yeah. Where's everything else going to go, right? So. Yeah.
So now you do this in an Excel spreadsheet. Maybe we can sort of give that away in the show notes as a template if somebody wants it, to see how you've been doing it.
Yeah, I don't know how useful it will be.
You always wonder that stuff.
It should be. You should be able to just pop a picture on it if you know anything about it. I mean, Excel is all you got to do is I don't want to get 1,000 questions on how to use Excel.
No, we're not going to get too technical.
You can ask me, I suppose, but if it gets a bit much. But there are a lot of resources online on how to use Excel. There's a website called Stack Overflow, which is a message board for people that are really good with all kinds of different softwares. Whatever your question is, someone there can answer the hell out of it.
Now, as I've Now, as I've seen how you've done it, it looks to me like something that anybody who uses PowerPoint could do too.
I think you do it in PowerPoint.
Any kind of software where you can, import a photo and then overlay text and just move the text around. I think you're all set. So
just using text boxes. So
it's just text boxes.
I'll put what I've got up here, because you can literally just pop a picture in there, and all my text boxes will remain. So you can, if you could rename them, or if you're planning to say, I mean, they're pretty common things: potatoes, beans, tomatoes, onions,
Right.
cucumbers,
Yeah.
beans,
Yeah.
onions, kale.
Yeah.
So I think,
Cool.
sometimes I might put a little sub note saying, like, I got a couple different varieties of spinach this year, so I put Matador in this, but that's more. I don't use labels in my garden. Like a lot of people have those little sticks and they write this and this, and I don't do any of that. Most of the time I can tell by the shape of the plant what it is.
Right.
But if I'm trying a new variety of something, I'll just jot it down in the Excel file. So I'd never tried this Matador spinach before, so I jotted that down. And I've got King of Denmark, which is the acronym, of course, is KOD.
Nice. Don't air. Oh, you're making me hungry.
For those not from the Maritimes, that is just the most delicious way of eating meat.
It is so good. We could do a whole episode on that, except you can't. Well, you need to grow tomatoes and onions.
Meat drenched in a sugary milk sauce with a little bit of milky garlic sugar sauce with a little bit of tomato and onion on it. It is just superb. Superb.
So,
I wish you could grow donaires. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I would be a millionaire.
You got to work on that. Yeah. So I don't know where we left off.
I think we're just doing.
Okay, cool.
We're descending into donaires.
Yes, descending into donaires. Now, I did want to say something. Greg and I are scheduled to attend the Youth Expo, and this is something. It's been going on for a few years, and it's in Brookfield, Nova Scotia, April 22nd, and we're going to be there under the Maritime Outdoorsman name on the brochure. But we're going to have our Maritime Gardening signage there and our Maritime Outdoorsman podcast signage there. So we're going to be there. If you're in the area, stop by. It's a great show from what I hear to bring kids to. There's lots and lots of things there. We're going to be there, chatting it up with people and maybe even recording some stuff. So, and we might even give away some seeds.
Yeah, we might as well bring some of that stuff.
We probably will. So check it out. Brookfield, Nova Scotia, April 22nd at the Don Henderson Memorial Sportsplex from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So,
right.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. A little road trip. So yeah, that was episode 32. Go ahead.
Oh, one more thing about having a plan. Like, I didn't used to do this because I don't like. I do like being spontaneous, and I don't like having a set of things to do. Mm-hmm. Like on the Saturday morning, my wife's like, "What are all the things we're doing this weekend?" And I'm like, "Oh, if I have to write it all out, it's going to ruin my weekend."
Yeah, me too. I don't like it.
Feeling like that I'm doing things spontaneously.
Yeah.
And so, but don't feel like planning out your garden space is going to take away from that. You can change your mind. It's just a way to get you started thinking where everything should go, because it really does. You will get more out of your space if you put a little thought into where everything's going to go. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't change your mind about lots of different things as you go, right?
Right.
It just gives you a starting point, a template. It's just like if you're planning a trip. Well, maybe you pull over on the side of the road at a yard sale on the way. You didn't plan that, but that might be the high point of your trip, depending on what you find. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so don't think of it as a set of rules you have to follow. It isn't. It's just you've given it some thought and you've got some idea of where you want it to go. It's like you're almost like stating your vision for this year's garden.
Yeah.
And then you're going to change your mind about a few things because you just will.
Yeah, that's right.
I always do. I don't think I've ever followed my plan.
Yeah.
I follow about 80 to 90% of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've said this year, do not grow corn.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to plant it somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can stick to that. The thought of fresh corn.
Yeah, it does sound good. Sound good.
It is.
Very good, very good. So, episode 32 in the books. If you want to check the show notes where you can you should be able to find, Greg's garden layout template Excel sheet, as exciting as that is.
Yes.
You can find that at maritimegardening.com/032, and a few other little notes about this episode there as well. So,
Well, you'll see also in the picture, there's a little caption that says "useless" next to my
scarecrow.
Scarecrow, because the scarecrow was useless. So that's me telling myself, don't waste your time putting scarecrows out. It didn't scare. All it scared was me.
Yeah, me too. The one time I was there, it was
life out of me. I'm usually alone in my garden. I'm very focused on what I'm doing. I'm on my hands and knees, and I'll stand up, and there'll be like this man next to me.
Hey, it lets you feel like you're not alone in the garden.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
That thing's got to go.
Greg died in his garden next to the scarecrow.
The funny thing is, it was wearing. If you see the picture, it had a ball cap on all year, and I was wearing that ball cap yesterday.
Oh man!
So it's a well-made ball cap.
Yeah, for sure. It withstood the test of time.
I had to put it through the washing machine because it was full of spiders and stuff.
Oh, lovely! That would scare me more than any scarecrow.
It was like something about it being outside for a year. It got really soft, like that old hat.
Yeah.
Old hats. Oh yeah. I had to put it on my head after washing.
Yes, of course. Very good. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And before we go, if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. And Facebook, our Facebook fan page is taking on a life of its own. It's really nice to see. We appreciate everybody who likes it, who shares what we put on there, and of course you can find all the recent videos on there and everything else. So that is that. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.